Oh.
Yeah. So those were Greg's noises, and this is John Escudero. My boy Nick. Usually we leave a graphic up and try to gather some viewers, but I forgot to mute it, and I wanted to jump ahead of jump ahead of the stuff, but we'll give you guys a little bit to join us, I guess. I don't really have any music or intro video to go. We can give you the Dirt Sheet Radio intro video if you really, really want it. Let me give you that.
Breaking the fourth wall.
Yeah, man, that's the intro video, and this is the gang.
We should have just quickly changed into different alternate outfits during that video.
It's just come back like the Oscars.
See who
I'm
notices. Well, all right, Cena.
I'm John Escudero, in case you didn't know. This is Nick LaRocco. Say hi, Nick.
Hey, what is up, everyone? It is I, Nick LaRocco. You are going to see me on the vast majority of our Wednesday shows, as well as on occasional Fridays. But guess what? Not next week. I'll be on vacation. So
lucky. So that's Nick, and that big G over there in the corner, that's Greg. Greg is dealing with a bit of an internet issue, so we're going to give him a second to say hi. This is how long the delay is.
Hey, Greg.
Greg?
I did respond, I assure you.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Understandable. So that's Greg's issue today. His name is Grog.
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 I love D&D. Grog the Barbarian. Ooh, don't forget Bruno.
That's right. Don't forget Bruno. But yeah, man, it's the middle of the night. It's the middle of the night. We're talking about pro wrestling news. I wanted to do a little different this week. I didn't want to go through the trouble of coming up with an outline, so I'm mentally exhausted. So
I understand.
Instead, we're all going to go through the process together, and we're all going to read the news. I'll take the big box, Big G. Don't worry about it. We're gonna read the
Big
news
G.
together.
Who's that? George
I
Serrano.
will not worry about it.
Right? No, that's so sad.
We're gonna talk about the news this week, the last 7 days of pro wrestling news. We'll scroll our very own Dirt Sheet Radio. It's so fucking reliable, and I trust those people with all my
This
heart.
feels
Honestly.
somewhat masturbatory.
No, you want to see masturbatory? I'll give you
All
some
right.
masturbatory.
We're not even at the 5-minute mark.
I haven't said any F words yet. Only masturbatory. Is that a curse? Anyway,
I will count it as one.
before we talk about wrestling news, I wanted to talk about something really serious. You know, at Dirt Sheet Radio, we've been doing this for a few years now. I don't know, maybe we'll say 4 years straight of hard work and becoming a content hub and a place where people can come and refresh every morning, and they know they're gonna get the news as fast as possible. You know, like you're not gonna see it like an hour later after it matters. Like you're gonna see that shit within the first 10 minutes. You come to Dirt Sheet Radio for the heat, and we're happy to do it. We were happy to do it forever. We're still happy to do it, and that, you know, our labor started bearing fruit recently, or at least a couple weeks ago. We finally got
Full harvest.
we finally got monetized. It wasn't something we were working towards. It wasn't like a goal. It wasn't like we're gonna make this and make money off of it. I mean, the idea is like if it gets successful, sure, we can make money. Everybody wants to make money, but it never was real until it was. And then it was like 3 blissful weeks of monetization until a glitch A glitch took us out. A glitch demonetized us, and we got into contact with Facebook's, their community standards people. We spoke to them a couple times. They acknowledged straight up, factually, that it's a glitch that demonetized us. The problem is that it's hard to communicate with Facebook's customer service, and sometimes I suspect that they might be AI based on how hard it actually is to speak to them. But we were able to get a message through, and they claimed they would help us at least three separate times before a person shut us out entirely. So I spoke to someone else who claimed they would send the page to a review team. Unfortunately, they haven't got back to us. So I'm just kind of sad about that. But
a lot of shifting and ducking and dodging and throwing us every which way but least.
I'm more sad for everyone else who can make money off this thing too. Like, oh, this can happen to you. This can happen to you. You just making money. I feel more bad for people who this is their life. Like, they don't work. They don't do anything else. This is their social media, is their fucking job. And then a glitch can take you out like that. That's such fucking bullshit. We're going to continue doing it as we always do. We were doing it for free before. We're going to keep doing it for free now. But it is really fucking sad to deal with this. But great. We'll continue working, and you'll see us here doing what we always do. Just know when you see us on our soapbox in a couple fucking days, because they didn't fix this shit. You were the first ones to know why. Yeah, no, it's definitely mostly Mac's fault. All Mac's fault.
He can't keep getting away with it.
I don't know. Who knows? The report was that excuse me, it said we posted explicit content, but it didn't show any content that was taken down. When you get a strike, it shows you what was taken down, and even if it doesn't show you what was taken down, it shows you that a post was taken down. Like, even if it removed the content, you can still see that there was a post. It wouldn't even show that. It just kind of says explicit content. And then when the fucking service agent people looked it up, they looked in the account and they saw that there's no content taken down. It's a glitch. So yeah, that's disheartening. But the money that we did make over the last couple of weeks, we're gonna put into Dirt Sheet Radio, and you'll see that in upgrades and graphical upgrades and content shit. And we're still gonna work like if we are getting paid, because we've been doing it all these years. But I did want to talk about that because this is the Dirt Sheet Radio podcast, and we talk about Dirt Sheet Radio things here.
Openly discussing business.
Yeah, fuck those people. Anyway, yeah, so this is Dirt Sheet Radio, and we're going to talk about the news this week. One of the big stories was I guess we'll scroll through. Rhea Ripley got married to Buddy Murphy. That's cool. I'm happy for them. Buddy Murphy.
Injury wedding.
I don't ever want to speculate on anybody's life, but Buddy Murphy is very excited to be with Rhea Ripley. He always is excited to post, and he's excited to show her off. And I respect that, man. My wife loves things like that too, so I get it. I wonder if he just married her to lock her down, because she's involved in these storylines, and she's like the eye of everyone's affection. And he's like, fuck that. Shut the shit down.
Shut it down.
But yeah, no, they got married.
Australians getting together.
Our boy George discovered the inspiration for the Wyatt family, the Wyatt family period, the gimmick, or at least he thinks he does. I think it was a Rob Zombie project. What do you think about that? I don't know anything about Rob Zombie. Somebody says they ruined the gimmick for them.
Rob Zombie. Someone say Edge's theme song, circa 2002.
I want to shoot to Greg, but I don't know how long he's going to take to come back.
Someone's been in a Rob Zombie project in years.
Honestly,
that is the most interested. I wanted to. Yeah, that's funny as hell.
we got a lot of AEW news, which, hey, you can go check that out on our AEW Dynamite recap.
That's right. You can
Yo.
actually watch the AEW Dynamite recap show. That was really good. If you enjoy that, go check that shit out. We did a good one this week. But yeah, if you watch Dynamite, you know it was full of all types of Forbidden Door go home shit, and we won't have to get into that because we actually have a whole show dedicated to Dynamite. So go check that out if you want. It's live.
Hey,
I mean, it's on demand right now.
That's breaking news right there. Max Caster getting absolutely jacked.
He's a buff boy. Mac Burns says Rob Zombie movies are fantastic. I understand.
I liked his Halloween films as movies themselves, but not as Halloween movies.
I think I understand that. I've been there with a few films. I'm like, this didn't have to have that property stapled over it. It would have been a good film otherwise. Anyway,
Darrow, Nick LaRocco sharing content. Make sure you follow those pages right now.
Jacked Caster.
I thought
That's
the
right.
first Halloween movie was pretty that. I like that it sort of zoned in on Michael Myers just trying to find his little sister.
That's respectable. That's a respectable opinion. Oh, that's right. We did lose the or I guess German fans lost what some of them were calling the JR of the 90s for them. Is Gunther Zapf passed away this weekend, actually. Condolences to the family, though, for sure. That was the big news. That was Ricky Starks. There was a rumor on Reddit that Ricky Starks had gone to jail in Canada, and that's during the Owen Hart last year. And
He was
Tony
captured
had
by
to.
Mounties.
You imagine, right, on the horse, and Tony Khan had to bail him out and do personally like under the table pay shit so that they could stay out of the papers and stay off of fucking the web and shit like that. And they were all there. The rumor also said that Ricky Starks was hard to work with and he was kind of turning down stories left and right. And so Fightful looked into that and they found that he did turn down a story that would have seen Big Bill turn heel on him, and he would have won the feud, but he declined because he didn't think Big Bill would get anything from it. And I mean that's good reasoning, but
That's fair.
yeah, the rumor was that he's turning down anything they shoot at him, and they couldn't get that confirmed. But I'm like, it doesn't take much of a genius to see that that's probably true. If he's not on TV right now, then I can't imagine he's accepted anything like because he's not here.
Here's what I'm going to say. It sure is Miro in here.
Oh gosh, they're just sitting in the same room laughing. I'm weird about the idea that they can turn down stories, but I guess you can do that in WWE too. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I get it though. I respect it. Like it's a cool thing, but like as a business, like that's so fucking odd. How are you not fired? How can you?
It was kind of funny in the sense that like there was the whole thing about Tony Khan saying like, "Wow, I would love for Ricky Starks to come back," and most of the internet response to that was, "You're the fucking booker. You can book him in stuff." And only for it to suddenly come out that like Ricky's just fucking ideas. I was like, oh, so I could just not come to work on Tuesday? That'd be great.
That's true. I wonder if they put that out themselves. They're like, wait a minute, hold on, because let me put something out to the sheets. Tony made a fucking burner Reddit account and threw that shit right out there. I heard Ricky got arrested in Calgary, and that's why they don't use him. But the report also said that they were getting conflicting information on Ricky Starks. Like some people were like, nah, man, that shit is not true, and other people were like, oh, he's very hard to work with. Fuck that guy, I guess Ricky Starks believes that the booking for him specifically turned the table or whatever. I forgot what the fucking term is, but he thinks it changed after CM Punk left the company. And I guess I can see that. A turning point is what I was trying to look for.
Yeah, I mean, remember, look back in those Collision tapings at the very start of it, where Collision definitely felt vastly different from the vast majority of AEW programming, and Ricky Starks had his own unique presentation that we really didn't feel on Dynamite when he would be on there, you know, where he would come out, he felt like a big star, he had like a whole minute-long pyro. Oh, we lost Greg again.
Oops.
But, you know, I really did enjoy seeing Ricky Starks and having him feel like a big name for Collision, and I feel like all signs were pointing to him taking that real world's title from CM Punk eventually at some point.
Either him or MJF, I feel like. But
if it is him, I completely understand, because now all of a sudden you're just like, I was set to have what is basically the world title for this other show. Now you want me to work with, you know, this B-level storyline? No, thank you.
Yeah, that's how he feels. He apparently didn't want to be in a tag team in the first place. He's like, fuck this all, you know. But I get, like I said, I understand. I feel like he just wants out, though. I feel like we should just, and it's probably better to just keep him off TV until it's time. Fuck that, you know. Get out of here. Greg, are you alive with us?
Alive is a relative term, but yes.
That's good. That's a much faster response than we've gotten all night.
That's true.
But yeah, so Starks has told people that he feels CM Punk leaving the company is the reason why he's gone. And like Greg was mentioning earlier, Tony Khan had said in the interview, you know, I wish we could have had Ricky Starks on TV right now. And people were like, man, what the fuck are you talking about? You run this company. And it turns out, you know, Ricky is the one. Ricky is the reason why he's not on TV. You know, he also said, like, he was also on the fucking interviews talking about, oh, you know, I wish I was on TV or whatever. One of the things that Reddit rumor said was that Ricky Starks had like lost feeling in the right side of his body mid-match, and like that was the reason why they were keeping him off TV for a little while. But the Survivor report says he is currently medically cleared to compete. So,
but you know, it does check out too as someone that, you know, he deals with neck injuries consistently. And he has mentioned that still impacts him here and there.
Right. Back to his Greg jump scare. But yeah, I took out my fucking microphone by accident. But if you can hear me, I'm grateful for it.
Yeah, I can hear you. There's Sika passing away.
We did lose Sika. I know IE this week. That was, I think one of the nephews posted it prematurely by accident, and it ended up telling the world because they deleted it. Yeah, you know, it's you know, fucking Sika, one of the Wild Samoans. I mean, this is one of the patriarchs. It's pretty significant loss, you know.
Major aspect of the whole Samoan dynasty.
Pretty much the Samoan dynasty. Look at this spam.
Freaky for me, because I think I had seen family post on social. They posted a picture of him when they went to visit him, and I was just like, oh man, that dude looks like he's in rough shape. And then 2 days later, it's just like Sika has passed away. I was like, fuck, he was in rough shape.
Oh god. Oh god. Greg saw his fucking body. Jesus. Anyway, it's a big passing, and Roman put out a statement. I think I scrolled past it a little while ago. Roman put out a statement basically thanking everyone for putting out so much support for his dad. That's pretty fucking good. Pretty cool moment, cool tweet. But yeah, condolences to the family from all of us here at Dirt Sheet Radio. It's fucking crazy. Dude, fashion that fucking Wired or something. Hey, we don't have a budget here thanks to the good old people at Meta. Meta!
Hey, speaking of Mac, there he is in the comments. I don't know what's happening. We stopped scrolling and And nobody's talking. What's going on? There's dead air.
There it is. I lost my mic again. What the fuck? Anyway, yeah, I actually saw that AEW put a tribute out to Sika, and you get losers like it's not even your company. You never had it. Why do you even? I wouldn't even acknowledge them if Mac didn't bring it up because they're not. It's not even that they're not worthy. They're just fucking. Some of them are children, literal children on the internet, just saying whatever they want. I'm not arguing
I love
with
the
children.
idea that only the WWE get to acknowledge like other people in particular way. Like nobody, very few people have anything to say about the fact that they had some sort of memorial for like Vern Gagne, who never stepped foot in the fucking company. But like when in AEW does it, it's just like you don't get to claim this, you fucking idiots.
Oh yeah, remember like the second they announced like we're gonna have the Owen Hart tournament and he's gonna be inducted right into our Hall of Fame, and everyone's like, you can't do that.
Disgusting. He's in a fuck. They still feel like that. I saw a dude begging, can we do legal action? Like, but these are like I said, these are the kind of wrestling fans that don't deserve acknowledgement because they're not really they're not there.
We take legal action, but they don't do any legal action back in '99 when things happened.
They're not on the level, my friend. Anyway, so I don't know how much WWE you guys are watching lately, but due to the nature of Dirt Sheet Radio, I am watching all of it.
John, I do make sure to take a good amount of SmackDown in for Fridays.
I hope so. You can catch Nick on the SmackDown show every Friday. But I'm here.
I've actually seen a
I'm
decent bit lately because
directing
my girlfriend was trying to catch up on the last 2 pay-per-views.
Oh, nice.
Or
Very
PLEs.
nice. My
Fucking whatever.
I wish.
PLE.
Play. That's what's up, baby. Friday Night SmackDown. That's right. Let's go. Anyway, what the fuck was I just talking about? Well, Sika, and then, gosh, there was something else. I mean, like I said, we're scrolling, we're looking at Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay a year ago. Fucking excellent. I have to watch this again.
Hey, look at those names in there, hearting and liking it.
Look at the boys. Look at the boys hearting and liking this post. For the audio listeners, we're just kind of looking at this highlight reel of Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega over here. This was such an excellent fucking match. This is incredible, actually.
That's still my favorite match from last year. And honestly, when I think of 2023, that's the match.
Who did Liv Morgan sleep with in the hotel room?
Oh, God.
The real questions, Greg.
These are the things that entertain me as much as those storylines entertain those people. It's when I wish they would understand. It's like, but. No, stupid. You're happy with that thing, and I'm happy with this thing. Look at this shit. Why would I want to watch anything else? Like, come on, man. This is incredible. I love this match. I can't wait to see it again. You know what bugs me is the people who, like, every wrestler has a move set. With John Cena, we used to joke it was the 5 moves of doom. I always do the same finishing stretch. He had more than 5 moves, but it was always the same finishing stretch of moves. When you see Will Ospreay clips on Twitter and you see his reversals, you see the way he does his hidden blades, or, if you're not watching these matches, you're not going to see any difference. You're just seeing Will Ospreay doing Will Ospreay shit. Mike, when he first signed to the company, I said one of the things that's going to happen is he's going to overexpose himself because he doesn't know how to have a TV match. He only goes out there and has the fucking full Ospreay experience.
The full barn burner.
And you're seeing that from people now. But, and again, they are always going to miss the nuance because they're only watching off of Twitter clips and shit. But I kind of hate those people with all my soul. It's like the same kind of people that watch fucking TV with their phone out and then complain when they don't understand things. This was poorly written. Like,
you missed it.
You weren't watching. Like, what the fuck?
It's that thing where sometimes when I'm forcing someone to watch something I want them to see, I'm watching them watching the thing that I have put on this TV. We will watch it together. You will watch every single thing.
It's so disrespectful. It's like, and they're like, oh, well, it's not a serious part. But like, when you're reading a book, do you skip paragraphs? Like,
yes.
You just skip pages? Like, you're
When I was in
weird.
high school, I would.
Well, if you're learning, like if you're reading a textbook, then sure. But if you're reading a story and you skip 2 pages of the story because you thought it was unimportant, then how the fuck do you know what's going on afterwards?
Exactly.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about this Uncle Howdy segment on Sunday. Did you guys get to see this?
Yes. Honestly, like every single aspect so far, I'm not trying to jinx or anything, but like Uncle Howdy and Bo Dallas has been done completely right how it has needed to be thus far.
It's only 2 weeks, so I don't want to get crazy.
Right. Which is already much better from the WWE standard.
Well, if you did see this, Greg, what did you think of this Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas interview?
It's not really my thing, and I think from the start I think I have some resentment's not the right word. I think I have some pushback against the Uncle Howdy thing from the start, just because I didn't like the Uncle Howdy gimmick thing they were doing when Bray Wyatt was alive. I was just like, what the fuck is this? Like what we were doing was actually kind of cool, and then we did something stupid again, and then Uncle Howdy dived off the fucking thing, and it was a big joke. Other than that, like I've only seen the big debut scene. I haven't seen the VHS stuff. The debut scene was well done. Like, I can't fault the production of it. That WWE production has always been pretty top notch, and they proved why they were for this Wyatt 6 debut. That stuff's very well done. I'm going to struggle with being invested in it personally.
Oh, so you didn't see the VHS promo? Fuck, you should have seen that one. That was made for you in specific with that opinion, because they it's the way they approach the thing. Essentially, they would dove right into the real story behind it. He asks himself, how did you deal with the loss? And it's like, wait a minute, what the hell? And then
we're gonna rule together.
Then they flip the camera, and he's looking at Bo Dallas, and you're like, oh shit, they're acknowledging that it's Bo Dallas. We're not okay. And then he asks, he asks him, how did he feel about his brother's death? And he says, we were going to take over the world together. We essentially saying, like, yeah, this was going to be us. This Wyatt 6 thing was going to be us. So me and him, we were going to work together on TV for the first. This would have been the first time too, right? Bo and Bray on WWE TV, because they were the rotundas and like FCW.
No, because
and I always thought that was...
because Bray and the whoever he was tagging with at the time, I think it was after Matt Hardy was working with the B team.
He teamed with Bo Dallas? Shit. I have to go back and look at that. But anyway, this would have been their whole...
That sounds vaguely familiar.
He does basically say this would have been us. And then they're like, don't you... He literally asks himself, like, don't you think this is exploiting your brother's memory? And he's like, what am I supposed to do?
I don't remember
Let
who
his legacy
he was
become
with, but the B team did the thing.
Well...
And we lost Greg.
We lost Greg.
No.
But he basically says, what was I supposed to do? Let my brother's legacy become a mausoleum? And it's understandable. Everything he said, I felt answered. Yeah, it answered how I felt about the quote unquote, not cash grabbiness of it, but the capitalism element. And it's a television show. It's things need to be sold, and names need to be put on there, and it sometimes feels icky to see, just to see like, oh gosh, they're selling things with Bray's name on it. It feels funny, but it's like, it's one his family could use that money. First of all, he's got children, he's got a wife. Anything with his name on it that can be sold should be sold, for them, so that
Plus,
they can be supported.
You got like all the people that have been talking about, the controversies over the years when, they did stuff like with continuing Paul Bearer's legacy and Eddie Guerrero, of course. One of the big notes here that I've seen a lot of people talk about and bring up, and I was definitely feeling the same way when I saw this, while I might not have watched, the full episode of Raw, this one in particular was something I definitely enjoyed, and in particular was Bo looks and sounds a lot like his brother in this.
It's uncanny almost. Yeah. It's a little like it adds to the heartbreaking element. Like,
yeah,
God, it's painful. It was a strong segment. I had seen comparisons to the Mick Foley segments where he's kind of interviewing his other personalities. I can see that. I wouldn't go that far. I think a lot of the I think it's gonna be weird to say, but I feel like some of the real emotion and very high production value behind this make it work so well. I also think they were in the Firefly Funhouse when they did this interview in the dark. If you noticed that was interesting. But the difference between this and the Mick Foley thing is the Mick Foley thing, he pulled that out of thin air, on a fucking out of his brain. It wasn't, right. That's it's a crutch, like, I don't know, but objectively, I think you probably it's probably more impressive to pull out of thin air than I don't know. It's hard to talk about.
I mean, the instance here is like you're basically going onwards, trying to maximize someone else's ideas and thoughts, and you're trying your best to honor and maintain that original vision, which it can be very hard from the standpoint that they even talked about this in the Bray documentary. There's some elements of Bray's ideas that might not have always worked for TV, or might not have always, had like kind of like a longer term idea or concept behind it. So it's trying to respectfully work with the original vision while also kind of maintaining the changes that we need to make to, maintain that level of respect following Bray's passing.
After this segment, it's certainly a little easier to swallow this than it was last week. And that being said, this is not this kind of spooky supernatural stuff. It isn't my bag, but I also don't really have anything against it right now. I'm not. Some people are like, man, this sucks. I'm like, I'm not really judging it like that. It's an outlet, an emotional outlet. Bray would have wanted it, and it's not like Bo. It's different from the Rey Mysterio Eddie Guerrero thing, in that like Bo Dallas was always gonna be part of the Bray Wyatt thing. Like this was supposed to be theirs, and they're gonna try to continue it together, or in spirit. He's gonna have his brother in spirit, but I did too. Coming off from all the Raw clips that they've posted to their YouTube page, this is the one that's about 29,000 views away from hitting 1 million, compared to all the other clips from Raw in particular. Because this clip is the closest to 1 million. The others are roughly around 100 and 200,000. I think one of the second place clips, second place is Wyatt Six delivering a package to Michael Cole. That was an interesting gimmick. That's another thing we can talk about for a second. The Chad Gable of it all. I'm not a fan of Chad Gable being involved with this. That's the one thing that bothers me about the whole Wyatt Six thing. It's the Chad Gable being involved here. I hope that was like a one and done. We beat him up. He was a dickhead. This is why we did it. I don't want him to be involved with these guys. He's got so much going on that that's not being paid off. Yeah, I mentioned on the Monday. I think I mentioned on the Monday show. or they've got Chad Gable, or maybe this was Friday. Did we talk about this on SmackDown? No, right? No.
I don't think so.
No, they've got Chad Gable, and his story started with him losing to Gunther. He wasn't able to win the Intercontinental title. Then he was unable to get a second chance at the Intercontinental title against Gunther, right? So he turned on Sami Zayn. So then he wasn't able to get the title from Sami Zayn either, even though he turned on his family. And so they moved the fuck on from this Intercontinental title thing, and the whole Chad Gable family element of it is entirely gone. They replaced it with the American Alpha thing, and then the American Alpha thing doesn't get fully paid off. They just kind of, hey, Otis is leaving. He didn't even beat his ass.
Otis.
We didn't get the big Otis moment. You know, like, yeah, Otis is finally. He shoved him down and he restrained himself and took Maxine and he left. And I was like, and you know, I figured, well, it's just building, it's just getting started. And then he gets involved in a goddamn Wyatt 6 thing. I'm like, wait a minute.
Not in the head.
He's fucking. What the fuck is going on? So I got this feeling that they were pulling back. I got on Monday where he just kind of came out and he was involved, but he left. And then the thing that the Wyatt 6 did didn't have anything to do with him. And then when they cut to him backstage, they're starting the Creed brothers storyline with him. So
I also love some of the comments about the match with Chad Gable, Bronson Reed, and Braun Strowman is got marked by Wyatt 6 and came back and won against Strowman and Reed. Perky Gable is built different. Also, Majin Gable being power boosted by the Wyatts.
Majin Gable, that's fucking great. Actually, that's probably how this is gonna turn out, isn't it? He's gonna be possessed or something. It's inside of me.
One of the people on here basically says, starting to think Chad Gable is a secret agent for Wyatt 6. No way he wins this a week after literally being murdered.
Just came out and won that match with superpowers.
Super perk.
Good. Interesting. I mean, I'm having fun with this. Probably one of the Chad Gable thing was one of the better fucking stories for me in the company. So I was just like, you know, hoping for the best here. Just hoping to stay away from all this spookiness right here. Just keep us away. You know.
It did make me ponder a little bit about like why was Chad Gable like the only visible wrestler that was attacked. And I don't know. I wish there was a little bit more there. Even throw a bone to the low carders who only appear on main event. Have them get crushed. They never look for payback.
Right. The Braun Breaker thing is a big deal on Raw. He's just getting. He's just so fucking over. He's so cool though. Everything he does is frantic. It's got fucking frantic energy around it. It's excellent. It's raw. It's new. Powerful.
Dude, like I remember at the Royal Rumble when they literally just copy and pasted him into Brock Lesnar's slot, didn't change a single thing, and nothing about it felt different. Like that was the perfect quote unquote introduction, so to speak, for Braun Breaker. Again, I just want them call him Rex Steiner, please. That's such a cooler name.
Listen, Braun fucking Ilya Dragunov was trying to cut a promo. I'm not Ilya. Ludwig Kaiser was trying to cut a promo against Braun Strowman. He calls him he's against Braun Breaker. He calls him Braun Strowman. And I'm like, this is the number one reason why we need to change Braun Breaker's name, because there's so many fucking Brauns on the show. There's Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. You can just Rex Steiner it and it fixes this entire problem. Excuse me, Jesus fucking
Braun's
Christ.
Not even a common name. We're literally back to the 2005 Christopher issue where you had Chris Jericho, Chris Benoit, Chris Masters, Christian.
All on the same show, too.
Yep.
All on Raw.
All on Raw.
Actually, possibly injured Ludwig Kaiser on Raw, too. We haven't had an update about that.
I'm grabbing that booty.
We'll keep looking at it. We'll keep looking for information. This Liv Morgan Dominic storyline is dominating social media for some good reasons, some for bad reasons. Some people think it's it's I guess inappropriate to do this storyline considering the nature of Vince's, the allegations against Vince McMahon and how much of them involve text messages.
Oh, I never thought about that until now.
Yeah. I wasn't thinking about it either because, that comes from people who want to look for something bad. And I wasn't really thinking about that when it came to this storyline. But then it's like, oh, man. Now
The guy sharing the texts with everyone.
Yeah, right. And it's that's the one part that everybody talks about. Like he's
I didn't even think about that. No.
Sharing the nudes. No.
Damian Priest right there is me with this realization right now of like, oh
no, Bobby.
And of course, it's from Ruthless Aggression legend that is Dominic Mysterio.
Hey, listen, don't share your nudes, okay, friends? Anyway, this Drew McIntyre thing, the storyline with CM Punk and McIntyre. Where are you on this?
Larry and AJ. Honestly, this is probably one of my favorite ongoing things, and I love the overall meme that is Drew McIntyre's hatred for CM Punk. Everything he does is for his disdain for CM Punk, and I love that so much so that it has impacted him in other matches not at all involving Punk. And I think it's added a great dimension to Drew McIntyre.
If CM Punk gets hurt in this Drew McIntyre match, I think we're gonna have to move on. We're gonna have to move on from him for good.
Oh, there we go. That's a bit of news right there. Is the delayed documentary finally coming out?
I actually forgot about it for a little bit, and I really wanted to watch this the week after WrestleMania.
My hype's died down a little.
It would be. Somebody said I can't. I think it was our boy. I think it was CJ. I think he commented. I can't see it here, but
it was up there.
It was.
I was looking for CJ, but I'm like, oh wait, it's Cody.
It's Cody. That's right.
There it is.
I was too. He said, "Why did they ever announce it would be out less than a week after WrestleMania?" Is beyond me. I think they could have done it though, because they were working on this for 3 months. It wasn't like they chopped it together like the video at the end of the show.
Yeah.
3 more days to put the final pieces of WrestleMania in shouldn't have been that big of an issue. So I really, really wonder what Dwayne wanted fixed.
Rocky.
That's my I even commented it on that day. Like,
yeah. I'm just trying to think if there's anything that had to be added between then and now. Which
context that makes him look good. And so then I realized, what if we as a company pivot back to Cody Rhodes? And this was my idea. I thought of it myself. And I said to Brian Gerwitz, I'll slap the shit out of Cody. This is my big idea. I'm sure he'll take all the credit and show off all his Voss piss bottles. And, it'll be that. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll watch it.
Oh, what about the XFL team, the Brahmas?
The fucking Brahmas.
The San Antonio Brahmas.
Yeah, like Max said. And then I thought, what if they give me a belt? Right? I'll fucking have Muhammad Ali's wife gifted to me.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
That looked right.
There's an echo. But Greg's in really good quality right now.
I have to mute you.
I'm on the tablet.
Yeah. Does it? Can you put headphones on?
No, because that's a USB port I don't have access to.
Oh no! You can hear it very clearly. Oh shit!
We'll make it work.
Oh no! We were talking about the WrestleMania documentary.
I haven't seen it.
We haven't either. It's coming out. Come on.
I saw an ad for it. I was just like, "Oh, is this finally out?" Oh,
No, July. It's crazy. I'll mute it for a second. When you need to talk, Greg, you give us a you give us a thumbs up. You look good though. Good job.
Honestly, yeah, this is great quality.
You look great, but it doesn't have a fucking audio hole. That's weird. That's setting you up for failure. So yeah, we were just saying how fucking interesting it was gonna be. Anyway,
I
we
put in
talked
the
about
budget a USB splitter.
we talked about Raw. We were talking about the Wyatts. They've got Pat McAfee involved somehow. I don't know what they're doing. And then he didn't show up to Raw, and everyone was like, Wyatt 6, and it turns out he had a horrible tragedy in real life. Like he lost someone in real life.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Now it feels insensitive.
So we pulled away from there a little bit.
But
that one producer there, he keeps taking all the blame for it. To which then Triple H lovingly said that hopefully you don't all of a sudden get jumped and shot in the head.
Anyway,
what a nice guy Hunter is.
Speaking of Hunter, he mentioned on that same Pat McAfee show that WWE will see less restrictions for like crowd muting and shit like that when it comes to WWE television, and people took that as WWE's going back to the Attitude Era, baby. Yeah. It's like, whoa, wait, relax.
Hey.
Even though, like, I understand Liv Morgan is on TV and she's talking about giving Dom gifts right in front of everybody, basically offering him blowjobs and shit. So I get it. I get why people think that the Attitude Era is coming back. Max says he thinks Pat McAfee is leaving because college basketball is starting soon. Oh, I mean, that makes sense, but I mean college basketball. College football. I'm sorry, it's late. Anyway, yeah. This Triple H thing, though, when they go to Netflix, people are excited. What do you guys think? Are they going to get really sexy? Are we going to see Liv Morgan's nipples? What's up?
Oh, man, I don't know if they're going to go that far necessarily, but especially since, like, the topic we just talked about earlier, how far do they want to go, at least right now, following all the controversy surrounding Vince and friends?
Well, it doesn't always have to be sexual.
And plus, too, like, here's another aspect that people always neglect. SmackDown was perpetually a PG show. That was its whole intention. And people always say, oh, that's fair, that means all this crazy violence and stuff. No, it didn't. It meant Crash TV and matches that were 5 minutes at the most that all of a sudden are getting interrupted by like a million people.
Yeah.
Basically feeling like a dusty finish every single time.
I need it. But yeah, I mean, the quote is just an example of us being on Fox. If the crowd chants holy shit or something much worse, they just take that audio. Sometimes they take the picture and the audio off, and it's just a blank screen. We won't have those issues on Netflix. Stephanie changed the pacemaker battery. No, fuck. But that's the actual real life quote. So that doesn't say anything about seeing buttholes. I'm sorry, Mac. We will not be seeing any brown eyes on WWE Raw on Netflix. But, who knows? Maybe Tony Khan will get desperate.
Oh.
I forgot Kayla Braxton left. She's
right.
She's leaving WWE. And then Meltzer was like, she talked with AEW. And then she was like, if I wanted to stay in the wrestling business, I wouldn't be walking away from the biggest wrestling company. Oh, good for you, girl.
Signing bonus and the leaving bonus.
I'm just curious why you gave her a list.
I think all sassy girls have lisps. They do.
All right.
She got pushed out. You know, they brought back Kathy Kelly. They have Jackie Redmond. They're both the primary. They're both the primary announcers on the show, and they don't need Kayla for anything other than to stand in the back and hold a microphone, you know, and act shorter than people. And on probably just be on the bump. So going out and probably finding an ESPN job, and I think she's got like a new boyfriend and everything. She probably feels like she's got a new lease on life. Yeah, good on her. I don't even know if she would have fit in AEW. That's such a weird thing. Like, what the fuck would they want Kayla Braxton for? What the fuck? Like,
They got a whole new series of ring announcers that they just brought in.
They just did exactly. Poor Alicia Tout. She's actually no good. I'm sorry. She's no good. She's no. It's like they had her in year one, and she was no good, so they let her go. And then she gets like she's with MJF, and now they're like, well, we can bring her back. Like, and nothing about her changed. So now, like, okay, well, why the fuck did you hire her back then? Well, I bet there's a major reason, and if people say that, then they're like wrong for saying it. But it feels like it.
Who was? I don't know if anyone saw it. Who was the ring announcer for Rampage?
That's a good question.
Whoever it was, they were new, and it sounded horrible.
Oh shit, that's right. It was like a non-Dasha person. That's just because they got rid of Dasha. It stinks.
Which everyone's like, why you get rid of Dasha? And they also got rid of Jose.
They got rid of Jose. They got rid of Dasha. They got rid of the Tate twins. The boys. They were really mad. They wanted us to post that. We were gonna post their side of the story, but then they started being really like mean to Dalton Castle. I was like, we can't fight for you. You know, like we can't.
Right.
We can post your side of the story, and we did.
Starts attacking. These guys have my back. Get them.
Oh wait, whoa.
Hey, whoa.
Actually.
What was the thing I was gonna say? Now I just completely forgot because we just started talking about that.
We probably gonna talk about Jacob Fatu. Greg? Oops.
Oh.
Hello? Greg?
What's happening?
It's okay. He'll come back to it.
They'll come back. They always do.
They always do. So Jacob Fatu made his WWE debut last week. Finally, and Fightful's reporting that he's been signed since about WrestleMania, and that's about what we thought. That's why we've been waiting for him for so fucking long. Show up.
It's been a while.
Thought he was gonna show up the night after WrestleMania, but no, we got Tama Tonga in a slow build to Jacob Fatu. Triple H really likes the slow build. He's a big fan. He's a big fan of the dragging shit out. Yeah, Fightful says that Jacob Fatu might not be able to work overseas pay-per-views, PLEs, due to his past criminal record. He's currently announced for Money in the Bank in Toronto. So WWE might have fixed something. He might be okay. We'll see though. WWE were right about concerns about him looking better than Solo, says Mac. Hey, he came in on that first night full of all the intensity and took out fucking 3 of the top baby faces on SmackDown all at once. The booking certainly positioned him very well. I wonder how long that's going to keep up, because if they really think that he's going to overshadow Solo, they wouldn't book him so strong, you know?
Here's one of the things I want to say is a lot of people were like, well, have him take over, have him now all of a sudden be the leader of the bloodline. But it's like, okay, if he can easily dominate and destroy everyone all on his own, what would he even need the other guys for then?
Yeah. And he took out Randy, he took out Kevin Owens, he took out
the world champion.
The WWE champion on his first fucking night. So, he's a big boy. Greg, you with us? No. Okay. That's okay. I appreciate you anyway.
We love Greg in this house.
If you've seen Jacob Fatu on the Indies and MLW in particular, then you know about what WWE's in for, and you kind of wonder to yourself how much of Jacob Fatu is WWE actually going to have on television. Nick, do you think that we're in a place at WWE now where they'll let someone like Jacob Fatu run free?
Yes and no. I think it really just depends on the individual. Jacob Fatu in particular, I could see them giving a lot of free reign because they, have a deep historic relationship with, his family. They, love him. And I think too, his work speaks for itself, and just like, the level of professionalism, because I don't know if we really ever heard much bad from him, behind the scenes. And as we all know, word travels fast through those wrestling locker rooms.
They say he's very polite backstage and everything like that. I think about that one time he didn't show up to the charity event. Just random. It was like on the news.
Oh my gosh.
Fucking hilarious. But that's like the most controversial thing he's been involved with. It's just funny to me. Like, it's just hilarious.
They built him up exactly how they needed to as well. He took out two former world champions and one current WWE champion.
It was perfect. I really wanted to know what Greg thought about the Jacob Fatu debut and how his future in WWE might go, but I don't know if we have him. Oh, I think he's talking, but we can't hear it. Like, it sounds like a voice trying to squeak through a fucking phone line that it's too tight. It's too tight, Daddy. You gotta take it out.
Okay. What I will say too is, I think Jacob Fatu is perfect for that kind of crazy wild card enforcer that Solo can just snap his fingers and all of a sudden you got to deal with the Destroyer.
I like the way they played it that the other Tongans are scared of him. They're like, what the fuck? Like, you brought this beast in? This is horrifying. They were looking at each other like, this is crazy. And they're supposed to be the crazy ones. They were trying to kill Kevin Owens with a car. But
they're the ones that Paul Heyman's like, we ran background checks.
So I think this Jacob Fatu is supposed to be like an actual, killer, which is ironic because of, I was like, man, because the implication is that, the Tongans might kill you. But I was like, they're trying to say like, Jacob's got the record, like Jacob's actually is an accessory.
So now what shtick do we have for the Tongans?
They're just scary dudes. Less scary now. They're like, we're reformed. We Jacob Fatu has come. We're gonna change our.
Yeah, and I'm just saying, we've seen it before. Let's maintain that aspect of we know who their father is. They are crazy. They will attack anyone and everyone.
Max says WWE filed to trademark Samoan Werewolf. What's his thing? He's got a cool shirt too. His first night. So I'm excited for the future for Jacob Fatu. I think Triple H knows what he has. I think I think Jacob Fatu is going to be quite all right. The problem here is that, like Mac mentioned earlier, it was reported that Solo was going to face Cody at SummerSlam. I definitely don't give a fuck to see Cody versus Solo Sikoa. But Cody versus Jacob Fatu, I might want to take a look at. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't gonna happen. But this is kind of that kind of overshadow thing they were talking about. Like, as soon as he came in, I was like, put Solo away. Like, give me Jacob Fatu in that spot. Having the matches against Cody. We'll see though.
Here's my worry is, and again, I don't know necessarily how the Triple H regime might change that up, but for years I've been conditioned for WWE to have this big crazy monster, and then after a couple years the jets have cooled and then it's comedy time.
the I can't imagine they're gonna do that with Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa. Solo might actually be the comedy guy. Jacob Fatu. I don't think Jacob Fatu is gonna end up.
Comedic stylings of Solo.
Could you imagine Jacob Fatu doing like the Funkasaurus dance?
Why would I kind of pay to see that though?
Funk is on around. Anyway.
Somebody call my mama. Yo, when Okada knocked the mask off of Ultimo Guerrero.
Oh shit, that's right. I was just
every single person in the arena was just like, oh. Look at the reaction of shock in everyone's face.
Well, they said he hadn't worn a mask in a while. Anyway, I didn't know that.
And look at the smile on
That's
Okada's
probably why they
face.
did it, 'cause I didn't know
Rainmaker.
that.
Oh, he knocked the mask right
John, I won't lie. I can't hear you over
2,
this.
3. And look at the smile on Okada's face. Rainmaker. Oh, he knocked the mask.
You can hear the man. You can hear the slap. You can hear the fucking slap of that clothesline on this motherfucker's chest, and you got people talking about that's a weak clothesline. Shut the fuck up. It's corny as fuck.
Again, I will just look right at the whole audience, and I appreciate that they all know the importance of the mask for everyone to be shocked when that happened.
I mean, if you watch the MLL, then you know better, right? Max says he wrestled in Mexico the week before without a mask. He wrestled for years without a mask. I think he's been out for like 2 years. But I think it reminds me of when Psychosis worked ECW One Night Stand. The first one against Rey Mysterio, and he came out with the mask even though he hadn't worn it in a long time, and then he took it off in front of the American fans. It's a symbolism thing, and it's knowing your audience thing. You know they don't know shit about the fucking mask. 36 of you knew that he wrestled without a mask. Like, I didn't fucking know he wrestled without a mask. I
mean, like the American audience look at Rey Mysterio getting unmasked in WCW, staying that way for a couple years, and then show him back up in WWE. Hey, he's masked again.
They booed Okada. They booed Okada for taking the mask off. You know, they didn't know. They were just like, oh, what an asshole.
Which, honestly, I think that might have been the goal here.
Yeah. I don't think he meant for it to fall off entirely like that, though. Like, when he hit the clothesline. He said that he didn't know AEW was going to want him to wrestle masked, so he didn't have a mask with him. Oh, no, Max says they booed Psychosis. Yeah, they did. They booed both him and Rey Mysterio the whole match, actually, for a little bit until they started doing cool shit.
Put the horns on.
Put your mask on. That's the thing. The crowd doesn't even fucking care. Like, he'd had it off for years. Put that shit back on.
It's America. This is America.
This is America. Look how they treated luchadors.
Taking your mask off, putting it back on.
Anyway, it was a good moment for Okada too, who's been friends with Ultimo Guerrero for fucking decades, since the beginning of his career. Great moment for him. But yeah, good shit. Can't wait to see that on pay-per-view. Can't wait to see Forbidden Door on pay-per-view.
Oh, gonna be helping my boys move and seeing that. Yo, Joe Hendry was getting lit on WWE.
Joe Hendry shows up on WWE NXT for 15 seconds and lights the world on fire. I guess we probably would have talked about that last week, right? If we would have had a show, but we didn't get to. Joe Hendry showed up on NXT, got eliminated in 15 seconds, said he would be back. Oh, that's a gorgeous Tony Storm person.
Whoever that is, they are getting kissed.
He said he would be back, or he at least implied it. But
how would the old regime have taken it for someone not under their own contract all of a sudden becoming their most viewed person online?
They would have been like, this is exactly why we don't bring anybody else in.
What have they done?
They would have poached him. I don't know. I have my own thoughts about the weird relationships WWE is in. I'm glad that pro wrestling is this way, but I'm still suspicious of WWE always.
I mean, and you can't blame us because for decades it's been this way.
I am still scared that it is. We'll see,
We've
though.
seen some things from older regimes creep out there, and remember too, you still got some old regime people in positions of power, such as a Bruce Pritchard.
Mac, you're thinking of When I Stand 2006. I remember that shit. It was like a DDT through the table that got stopped for heat. WWE is reckless for that. Nasty. They knew what it was gonna do too. They did that on purpose.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's that. Oh, that's funny. That's good stuff. I see. I was wondering if this was the picture that got us in trouble, but it continues to grow.
It's one of the most popping off ones.
Oh, this would have been so much money. I don't like to think about it. I really don't like to think about it. That makes me so mad. Fuck.
I love that image.
Oh,
That's
this is
so
great.
funny. I burst out laughing when I saw that one.
I love my caption because that's
Hoffman
exactly that's the
of
first thing I
States, Illinois.
That's a good angle that they're doing with the CM Punk Drew McIntyre thing. We were talking about it earlier, but just seeing that reminded me of the way they actually did it.
Nick LaRocco. Oh, if anyone sees that guy, make sure to follow him. He's cool.
I like this format of Dirt Sheet Radio. I might keep it this way.
This is chill. I like this.
Yeah, man. This is I'm trying to see if there's anything more to talk about this week. Yeah, Mac. I understand, Mac. It's okay. I don't think that was the problem. But we'll see. We will
Thinking
see.
out loud here, should we change the banner image?
Probably. Now that I see the fucking issue they have with everything. That's great. Greg in the chat, he attempted to locate a proper microphone apparatus, but it could not find a useful adapter. That may be my next purchase.
I love when one of us drops off and we reappear in the chat.
In the chat, cameo in text form.
Oh, usually it's me.
Oh shit, it's gonna be soon too.
Hey, no, get ready for next week, Phil.
Yeah, we talked about the Joe Hendry thing. That's great, but I guess the final major. Oh shit, we can talk about that. That's actually a big one.
Speaking of old regime carryovers,
That was interesting because MVP works there right now.
Yeah.
And I had seen a screenshot of one response where they were like, put the Hurt Business back together, and he's like, Triple H said no. And I thought that was cute, cheeky, but I didn't see the rest. I was like, oh shit. When I saw the rest of his responses, because he posted this picture right here on it's a picture of him with, sitting on the chair with the Hurt Business when they were champions, tag champions, US champion. He has all the belts, and the comments are like, Triple H era is emasculating black men. I really hate this. MVP's like, you see it. And so Vince completely screwed this one up. I'm shocked Triple H has been in favor of bringing it back. MVP says, I'm not. As much as I would love to see the Hurt Business back on TV, the only way I want it back is if Shelton Benjamin is in the fold. In the Hurt Business without him, once he's back, let's run it back. MVP says that's the only way. The current regime doesn't want it either. There's a lot of implications that Triple H isn't on the up and up when it comes to being a not racist.
I mean, again, this is why people always cite the Attitude Era. Go back and watch certain segments while DX was feuding with the Nation of Domination.
I'm a racist. Someone suggested that they took the gimmick and gave it to the bloodline, and I think that's a simple way of putting it, and it kind of it undermines what they might actually mean, because like it's not so much that they gave the gimmick to the bloodline as much as they put the bloodline in the kind of position you would have wanted to see the Hurt Business in. Like, you could have run the Hurt Business the same exact way, with the same exact significance and the same exact manager, without the Samoan references, and it would have probably been very similar. You know.
Yeah, like I like look at how many times the Bloodline has completely dominated entire like segments and matches and moments. I think back to the only good Raw Underground segment where the Hurt Business just took it over and destroyed everyone in there, which is believable and legitimate because you got, you know, an accomplished brawler and Street Fighter and MVP. You got Shelton Benjamin who can out wrestle anyone collegiately. And then Bobby Lashley is again my choice as someone who, if you were to take every single wrestler in WWE and put them in a legitimate fight to the death, Bobby Lashley would come out victorious.
It really should have been everything, and I understand why he feels that way. I just was really surprised that he was so willing to say it while he still works there.
Makes me think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes, because I think too, like, Cedric's just been doing dark matches and jobbing on TV. Shelton got cut, and I almost wonder if that's someone that I was going to say because of his association with Brock, but Heyman's still prominent.
Yeah, you're right about that. But Heyman's going to be prominent. Heyman has weaseled himself into an indisposable position.
Because they know if they get rid of him, he would help AEW out so much.
But also, I think Roman would not be very happy with that. As Roman, like Paul Heyman has been driving. Well, that's true, but I don't think Punk has any leverage. But Roman has all the leverage, and I think Paul Heyman has driven Roman's career. You know, Max says Cody's mom gave him the okay to murder a man. That's real parenting right there, Mac. That's real shit.
Mama Rhodes, you dropped this, Queen.
Yes. There was some talk that WWE might be partnering up with, or might be looking for a Mexican partner. And Dave Meltzer reported that Dorian Roldan has been talking with WWE about crossing over with NXT. Dorian is the AAA Lucha Libre owner, but he says that, no, that's not true. He hasn't talked with them about NXT yet. I laughed because there were people... fucking guy. I think someone immediately was like, oh, you know, this is why I love AAA more than CMLL. I was like, oh my god, you WWE fans don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is hilarious. That is the funniest shit in the universe. I'm all for the crossover promotional shit. It's fucking great. It's fucking excellent, especially for WWE. Sending AJ over to fight Narumichi Marufuji, sending Io Sky over to fight Utami Hayashishita. That's awesome. But seeing people be like, yeah, AAA is awesome now because they were WWE. I'm like, this fucking show is ass. AAA is the fucking worst. You do not want to see this shit. You want Vikingo and that's it. You like... You don't want this shit. You know, CMLL is one of the best promotions in the fucking world right now. What do you mean AAA over CMLL just because AAA might be working with WWE? You fucking buffoons.
Remember when Commander escaped AAA to go over to AEW?
Charlie Dempsey and Nakajima was cool too. I don't want to see Del Rio anywhere, Jesus.
Remember when people were under the impression that, it's going to be this big name showing up, and it's Charlie Dempsey.
Nakajima was supposed to show up in NXT. I don't know what happened. He showed up in Glee.
He showed up backstage to hang out with some newbies.
Hey, I liked 2014 WWE, Greg. It felt like things were about to change. They didn't, but it felt like it. That was it.
There were moments where 14 was hard, though.
It got me. I guess it always gets rough after WrestleMania. It just didn't recover until Sting.
That Royal Rumble was bad.
I forgot that happened. Shit.
It's best to forget about that Rumble. It was like in a whole streak where we had a couple real decent Rumbles, and then we had a bunch of mid Rumbles, and then it was a crap ton of bad ones.
I did see Matt Riddle at the birthday party, and part of me thought, like, downfall, but also I think he's still significant enough to charge a decent amount to where it's not like so sad, like, oh no, he probably only got paid like $50. Like, it seems like a decently paid family gave him a very good booking money, a fee for him to show up. Kind of the way it feels. That's kind of the vibe I got from that video, Mac.
He got all this money. He won the battle riot. We gotta pay him extra.
Oh man, they're talking right now. SummerSlam matches: CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes versus Solo Sikoa, and Logan Paul versus LA Knight. We talked about Cody versus Solo. CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre only makes sense. And the fucking Logan Paul versus LA Knight is one that we thought should have happened at WrestleMania. Holding off until now was interesting. Interesting. At least LA Knight got his match against AJ. He won, right? That was weird. That was very weird.
That did happen.
That did happen.
Did we talk about? Oh my gosh, Caesar, you are getting a gimmick now.
What about Caesar Sikoa? What the fuck?
They're getting too silly again. Did we discuss ever on here? Maybe this was one of the times I've dipped off. Shane EW.
Oh shit! Shane McMahon coming to AEW. We did not. Well, not that he's coming anyway, but that he inquired. But I don't think he inquired. Like the way they made it sound was that he was laughing. He was laughing with a friend who works there. Like, imagine if I showed up. That would be awesome. And then that got out, and they asked Tony. He was like, "I don't know that man. Never spoken to him in my life." But then they asked,
but he's always welcome.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Then they asked him again, and he's like, "He's always welcome. I'd love to work with him. I admire him as a businessman." That would be insane. Could you imagine?
That is literally a hell freezing over moment right there, where not just Shane, but just the fact that it's Eddie McMahon appearing on another opposing wrestling promotion. That's WCW never did that.
The name on the contract says McMahon, but anyway, if I wouldn't hate it if he wasn't involved in any business decisions. If he was just a talent, like an on-air performance, just one time. Like he doesn't even have to be a normal character. He can just show up once for the pop at a pay-per-view.
I almost feel like legally he has to be only a talent, because I feel like there's some sort of level of corporate conflict of interest if a McMahon appeared as a business executive after X amount of time.
You can't trust him. He might try to take it down from the inside.
Because there's legitimate business laws established for this type of thing.
Save us from Shane us. This was a question, but it's confirmed now. The WWE 2025 Royal Rumble will take place at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Illinois.
I wish.
I'm sorry, Nick.
I wish.
Indiana.
This drives me crazy. We've had literally all these historic moments. We've had so many top pay-per-views. Every wrestling company has come here. Chicago is known as being one of the best wrestling cities. Yet in that whole time frame, we have never once, not one time, go to Wikipedia, go look this up. This is absolutely upsetting to me. We have never once had a Royal Rumble in Chicago. That needs to change.
Well, you can fly to Indiana.
I refuse to ever go to Indiana.
Home of the racism?
Yeah, that is the home of racism, and I am staying far away from it.
Trying to think of what the fuck do they have in Indiana that's worth
nothing anymore.
You can't. What the fuck do you do? Because they didn't just get the Royal Rumble. They got a SummerSlam. They got 2 days, 2-day SummerSlam, 2-day WrestleMania. Who the fuck wants to go to Indiana for 2 days? Indianapolis. We have the 500. You like cars?
The 500 what? What does Indiana have?
They have the Pacers.
They have vast farmlands, John.
He said they have Caitlin Clark.
They have
what the fuck
mills.
Is she though? Like an attraction? Like where you can you go see the Caitlin Clark while you're at WrestleMania? Like is she in a corner?
Caitlin Clark.
Take a picture with the Caitlin Clark. Royal Rumble Mid-South. Greg says Royal Rumble Mid-South. That's fucking great. IWA 2025. But yeah, man, Royal Rumble in February. in 2025. It's going to be
That's weird.
February 1st. So not that big of a change, but still.
Nick Khan is again getting too silly.
He's changing things up.
Getting away with it.
He fucked up my whole WrestleMania weekend for next year with his bullshit. Made it all fucking wonky. But no, I know who she is, Mac. She's just I just thought, like, when you go to Indiana for a event, you generally, when you go to any fucking big WrestleMania event, they want to put it in a place where you can do other things because it brings in the big flying crowd. I'm like, why are you forcing 80,000 people to fly into Indianapolis? That's disgusting. Anyway,
we almost hit a week.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I mean, I'm looking. The last thing that we have is, I guess, AEW's fucking getting their ass kicked by Kendrick Lamar last week. It was fucking. It's actually pretty wild. It was so funny. It was so funny because all the excuse me, audience members, all the white people were so confused. What's happening? Why? It can't be just a rap concert. There has to be another thing. What was going on in the world? You don't understand how many fucking people wanted to see this concert just to see what he would do. And he delivered. So as the concert is going on, more and more people are fucking tuning in. Kendrick's part came on about towards the end of AEW Dynamite, but the whole concert was streaming for about 3 hours before that. It's a 5-hour fucking event. They had DJ, they had Mustard, the producer, but he was doing a DJ thing, so it wasn't just Kendrick. But it was such a big deal, and I'm telling you, millions of people watched this shit. It was free on Amazon Prime. About it. Everybody was talking about it. It was all over Twitter. It was the biggest pop culture event of the week last week. Pirate sites had millions of people watching. YouTube pirate streams had millions of people watching. So, like, just imagine, you know what I'm saying? And of course, AEW came out with a surprisingly low number, 502,000 people. What the fuck? Everybody was like, oh my God, rock bottom. But there's a fairly obvious reason for that. So I imagine that tomorrow morning they'll come out and it'll be a little bit something close to normal. We'll see though.
Yeah, people were also treating it like AEW was the only thing that was impacted by this. Like, look at anything from that time slot and that like time period in general. Everything got impacted because this was the only thing people were talking about from a whole feud that basically took over this entire year thus far.
It was 502,000 viewers and still number 3 of the night. So that's kind of the night that was. So, but of course, context goes over the heads of those who don't pay attention. Damn it.
I still love the part where it lets the whole crowd do the trying to strike a chord, and it's probably A minor.
17,000 people calling you a pedophile is crazy. It says my feed was impacted. You don't want to watch Impact. But I mean, that's pretty much the week of professional wrestling news. We had Greg with us earlier. He was a nice man. But he's gone now. He's gone now. But you still have me and Nick.
Weird.
We're live all week long, man. Dershi Radio, we are always on. We're on Monday nights immediately after Raw, Tuesday nights after NXT, Wednesday nights after Dynamite, Thursday nights after Impact. You also have us, Greg, Nick, John, the Dershi Radio newscast, live Thursday mornings in the middle of the night and on demand Thursday mornings for you to listen to at work, and of course Friday night SmackDown. And this week we catch our Forbidden Door post-show rewind immediately after Forbidden Door goes off the air. I'll be on there. Caesar will be on there. We'll see. We'll see who shows up. Other than that, Nick,
Yes.
what did you want to talk to these people about?
Oh, nothing. No.
I was gonna say,
That's
okay,
messed
well,
No. Yo, check it out. My brother Tony, he runs the Cold Case Project. If you are a true crime fan by any means, you like stuff that you can just binge watch, you like stuff that you could just pop on in the background, make sure you go and check out the Cold Case Project. It's a channel that focuses on all kinds of disappearances, murders, and other cold cases. Let's see what's been up there right now. 4 forgotten mysteries that have still been left unsolved. There's about a 54-minute video. Again, you could pop this on, have it on in the background, running just like we've had this lo-fi running in the background. It's a smooth listen, am I right? Hey, you like your safety? You like your internet safety? Then hey, go check out NordVPN. Make sure you go to the Dirt Sheet Radio website, comicbookclick.com/dirtsheetradio. Yes, that's right. And when you go to that website, scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the page. You're going to have a couple of little options to click on. Either one of them are going to be tremendous in helping you. You're going to get 72% off of your first month when you sign up for your NordVPN subscription. And this is the best way for you to be able to feel safe as you're securing the web. Make sure that you get those big arms ready to go so you can flex on them haters, flex on all of those viruses that want to go and infect your computer. Make sure you tell those hackers, you get away from me because they not like us.
They are not like us. Actually, they don't need to use VPNs to look at their freak porn. No. No.
And that is why we do not talk about Bruno.
No, definitely go get that. And wrestling related wise, I always say get your fucking NordVPN to order AEW pay-per-views because they cost $50 in America. But this weekend, if you get your fucking NordVPN and then you go over to Triller TV, get the app, you'll notice that the prices are very different. You can place yourself in the United Kingdom and pay simply $20 for an AEW pay-per-view, or even better, $50 for 3.
Exactly.
That's how I like to do it. Big baller shit. Big money, baby.
Deal.
$50. Give me them 3 pay-per-views over and over again. I'll give you $200 a year for fucking 12 of them. Fuck it. I got money. I go to work. I'm a big boy.
But hey, make sure if that's what you do, keep it a secret.
Keep it a secret. But tell all your friends to get it from Dirt Sheet Radio. Ha! Comicbookclick.com. Ha! We love you, folks. Thank you for joining us in the middle of the night. You're some sick motherfuckers. You really are. 180 you fucking bastards with us. I love it. Each and every one of you.
Crazy.
Fucking 4 a.m. on the East Coast. You nuts. You guys have a good night. We love you.